If you're looking to master sourcing profitable used clothing items for your resale business, then this video is for you. I'm going to be going through 5 must-know ways and items to be sourcing for your business, all the way from beginner up to advanced. And some of these items are very unassuming, but can fetch hundreds of dollars in some cases. So stick around because I'm gonna be breaking it all down for you here.
Hey there, my name is Lee Meyer. I'm the founder of Listing of Freedom and the empoweredreseller.com, and I'm on a mission to help 1,000 resellers make $100,000 in the next 12 months.
If you're new here, then welcome to the channel. My name is Lee Meyer. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 4, and I've made well over $100,000 as a part-time reseller, flipping used clothes and other items on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And now I'm on a mission to help at least 1,000 resellers be able to hit that $100,000 mark for themselves this year. And to help you out, I've got a few free gifts. You'll find them down here in the description below this video. This includes things like my best brands list, the list of brands that have led me to that $100,000 mark and beyond. You'll also find a link to sign up for my free $100,000 reseller challenge. In this free challenge, I show you how to get on the path to making $100,000 for yourself this year and how to do it in part-time hours. In the challenge, you're going to discover the very best things to be selling right now. It might surprise you, but it is going to change everything for you. Again, you'll find a link down here to sign up for that free challenge. Now, when you're running a used clothing business, one of the most important aspects is to be able to source profitable items. There's lots of items out there, but you need to be selective with which ones are actually going to make you money. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down 5 different categories or ways or things to be looking for when you're outsourcing. We're going to start at the very beginner, kind of basic level, and we're going to work our way up to more advanced methods that not a lot of resellers know about. And these can fetch hundreds of dollars in some cases for very unassuming items. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the number 1 beginner way that we're going to start with to be able to source profitable items for your business is to source based off of brands. And this is, again, a very beginner-friendly way to be able to source, and there's hundreds of items out there, and you don't have to be dependent on luxury brands. There's tons of mainstream brands as well as smaller brands, and I do have an entire Bolo playlist that covers a lot of different brands to be sourcing in different categories: women's clothes, men's clothes. I will link to that up here for you if you're interested in learning about brands. I've got literally hundreds of brands that are profitable. I'm going to be showing just a few of these here. This is a very beautiful set, and that is from St. John. That one sold for $459. This is Patagonia, another really solid brand to be sourcing. And that Chinchilla fleece, that one sold for $99. I've got another little bit smaller brand. This is called Wooden Ships, and this is they make sweaters like this that are very unique, and that one went for $65. This is another really good men's brand. Again, this is just the tip of the iceberg, what we're covering in this video as far as brands go. This is a men's brand that is called Flint and Tender. It is an American-made brand, and a button-up shirt like that, you know, they're selling for around $50. If you get jackets, a little bit more. So that one went for about $45. Over on Poshmark, this is Lovers and Friends, another really solid brand for women. That one sold for $95. Got a Love Shack Fancy. That's another brand to be on the lookout for. And that one, they make a lot of dresses. I'm not seeming to find a tag there to be able to show you, but $125 that went for. It's not uncommon for those dresses to get, you know, $60 to $150. Woolrich is another really common brand. Again, this is just the tip of the iceberg as far as brands to be able to look for, just giving you some examples here. And that coat went for $82. On Poshmark, Aviator Nation, that's another, you know, really big brand to be on the lookout for. That's what that tag looks like there. And again, I've got an entire Bolo playlist where I've got you covered on this. And if you're wanting all of those brand tags, all of the done for you research at your fingertips without having to spend hours watching videos, then you're going to want to check out my Big Money Brands complete library, where I cover almost 800 brands. Inside of those guides, I will leave a product card for you over here. Now, the next method to be sourcing apart from brands is to source vintage items. And with a lot of these that we're going to be talking about today, there's actually sellers who only source in one category or only source one type. It's kind of really niche down, and you can do that. So that is always an option, or you can be more of a variety seller. We'll talk more about that in another video. But with vintage items, of course, those are older items, about 20 years old and older. And this is one from the brand BB, so it's not that old of an item. And as a reminder, now items that are in the 2000s are now considered vintage, which is a little bit scary. But this little sweater, that one went for $64. So there's a really good market for vintage items, and the demand only goes up as the items get older. This is a sweater from the brand Storybook Knits. They make very kind of unusual sweaters, and this one went for $65. And then purses, that can be another thing to be on the lookout for with vintage items. Of course, there's shoes, there's all kinds of different types of vintage clothing and clothing related items to be selling. But that little purse, went for $45. These boots, and these don't necessarily, when it comes to vintage items, it doesn't have to necessarily be a good brand. It can be a lot of times just random brands. This one is actually a good brand, Larry Mahan. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but those went for almost $200 for those boots. Over on Poshmark, vintage is really hot as well. This dress, and one of the ways to be able to spot vintage is with those different colors, like a little bit different pattern than what is maybe current. And that dress went for $139. This is a handmade sweater, so this one doesn't even have a tag, and that one sold for $118. This is Union Bay. I'm guessing this is around 90s, maybe early 2000s. This one sold for $49. And then this is a sweater from Quaker Factory. That's the tag there. If you've not seen Quaker Factory before, this is actually what I would call an ugly Christmas sweater. And that one sold for $55. And then, of course, there's, at the complete other end, items selling for thousands of dollars, such as this mink coat that went for, almost $2,000. And I certainly can't cover everything here. I do cover everything inside of my vintage clothing guide, 150 different vintage brands and items to be on the lookout for your clothing resale business. So again, I will leave a product card over here for that. Now, the third method to be sourcing, or types of items, ways to source, is based off of aesthetics and the look of the item. So this is a little bit more advanced way to source, and it's basically targeting a particular look of shoppers, that what they're going for. And so this is an example. I have a few examples to be able to show you. This is a little plaid kind of mini skirt, and that one sold for $95 on eBay. And they use some really good keywords in here of schoolgirl and academia. This is a tank top, and it's from the brand Express, which a lot of times that brand doesn't sell for a lot of money, but because the seller used the right keywords and hit on that look that shoppers were going for, they were actually able to get $45 for that. And one of the keywords that they used, in addition to Y2K, which is trending right now in 90s, is that fairy core. So it does have a very kind of fairy look to it, and that is that fairy core keyword right now is pretty big. This is another pleated mini skirt. This one happens to be from Abercrombie and Fitch. There's the tag there, and it's a size 0. So it's a very small size. That one actually sold for $80. Again, using those Y2K academia, as well as Clueless. I'm going to hit on that here in a second. This is a vintage purse from Guess. And this is actually a faux leather. You'll see that there in the title, but they did use the right keywords with this as far as that Y2K retro. They also did a really good job of describing their bag with the, that ostrich leather, as well as baguette. And if you need help with bags are a really profitable thing to be sourcing and selling, and they do sell pretty quickly compared to other clothing items. I do have a keyword poster specifically specifically for bags that will help you go over, everything in your title that you need to have covered as far as getting it in front of the right buyers and not making any embarrassing mistakes. This is another item that sold because of the aesthetic, the look of the item. It's this black corset, and they use some really good keywords in here. It's not necessarily about the brand with these items. Steampunk, grunge, gothic, 90s. Those were all really good keywords that helped this item sell for $90. This is a blazer, and this is actually from Zara. And there's the tag there. That one went for $65. Again, using that academia as well as preppy keyword. This is another tank, and it has that corset lace up on the bust. And with this one, again, they use that fairy core as well as tapestry. That was another really good one. By the way, this is a brand that is called Cider. These items do not sell for very much at all. One of the other reasons why this did sell for a little bit more is that 4XL. So a reminder, if you compare really big sizes with maybe a not so great brand, and it has a really nice kind of look, it hits on some of those trending keywords, then that can be a profitable flip for you. So that went for $40 for that item. This is a top, but they use the keywords Victorian, Edwardian, and cottagecore. So it's actually Laura Ashley. That's a made in the USA brand. By the way, if you come across any dresses, those can be some really big money as well using some of those similar keywords. That top went for $65. And over on Poshmark, those aesthetic based keywords are really, really big. And a lot of sellers do just source and sell items based off of this look. And these types of items these aesthetic based items can sell really well on Poshmark. So this is a dress here. Let me see if I can get back to the picture. I think it was at a tag picture there. So that is the brand. And there's what that dress looks like there. That went for $51 based off of cottagecore, romantic, ballet core. So they, again, use some really good keywords when they were creating their listing in the title as well as down here in the description. And of course, on Poshmark, you also have the option of using tags in your listing as well. And I would recommend doing that. This is another dress that sold based off of the keyword cottagecore. That one went for $66. This is the brand tag here for the next dress. This is DBY, but this is, they actually used the keyword whimsy goth as well as Y2K. And that whimsy goth look is really big right now. This one sold for $50 for that dress. This is another item that sold with the whimsy goth keyword. This is actually Liz Claiborne, which usually doesn't sell for that much. That's a little bit of a close-up so you can see the print of that. It's actually Liz Sport, so one of the lines from Liz Claiborne. And that skirt sold for $40, which I feel like is pretty good for that brand. Likewise, an American Eagle, a lot of times these don't sell for a lot for their shirts anyways. But this one sold for $40, again, using that whimsy goth as well as a vampire keyword. And I know when you're typing up listings, it can be really hard to remember those different keywords right on the spot. So I do have a keyword poster where I have everything for you. You can have these right in front of you, type up your listing in a matter of seconds. And so that brings us to number 4, the fourth way to be sourcing or items that you can be selling. And these are actually what I would call one of a kind or upcycled or reworked items. Now, a lot of times sellers who are maybe crafty might do this to their items and then turn around and sell them. But you also have the option of looking for these items when you're sourcing, whether it's a garage sale, thrift store, wherever it is. These types of items are out there. Usually, every trip outsourcing, you'll probably come across at least 1 or 2 of these types of items where somebody's done some sort of work on these items. So this is an example of a Carhartt t-shirt that somebody actually bleached, kind of a splatter pattern. That one went for $40 for that. Another Carhartt. So Carhartt is one of those brands that for some reason does really well with this kind of upcycled, especially bleached look. And this jacket, you can see it's got some dirt, it's got some wear around the sleeves. That one went for $90. Another jacket here with that kind of spotted bleach, that one went for $175. And then lots of sellers are doing this to flannel. So again, you don't have to be crafty, just be on the lookout for these. Of course, if you're crafty, have fun with it. This is kind of a no-name brand. I believe it's called Simply Stated. So this is does have the tag. I'm not sure if this is that tag or if this is the Upcycled tag from this seller. But this flannel went for $56 just from them doing some bleach work and then putting that picture of Elvis on the back. This is another example of a sweatshirt where they've added some patches to it. You can see BMW, and that one sold for $48. Got an American Eagle here. This is another one where they did some bleach work too, and that one went for $45. That's on Poshmark, but eBay, you'll find similar types of items. A jacket here again, some kind of patch put on the back there, some bleach work, and that one sold for $50. Again, it's not about the brand. This is an interesting pair of jeans, and there's the brand there, so it just says boutique, and then those sold for $55 with that patchwork. I've got another pair of jeans here where a lot of patchwork's been done on those, and those actually sold for $160. And there is some overlap between this and using the right keywords. You're going to notice they used hippie and boho and festival. So there is some overlap between the different categories that we're talking about. This is an American Eagle pair of jeans here. I'm going to go through these kind of slowly because you're seeing embroidery, you're seeing patchwork, you're seeing some fabric filled in behind those holes. And let's see if I can get a brand picture of that. You can kind of make it out here in this one, American Eagle. And that pair of jeans sold for $95. Here's another shirt, blazer, I guess it is, where it's got that patchwork on it. It's got some different denim sleeves there at the bottom. And then that one sold for $85. So if you're crafty, by all means, be crafty. If not, then keep your eye out for these unique one-of-a-kind items to be sourcing. Now that brings us to the fifth way to be sourcing, or the types of items to be on the lookout for. And this is by far the most advanced method that not a lot of resellers know about. But if you know about this, then this can be some really good money. And I'm going to show you actually at the end some couple of sellers that actually only do this, that specialize in this. So with any of these that we've talked about, you can always niche down, and that can be a really good business model to be really niche down into just one type of thing and build up a following, people who are recurrent shoppers from you. So with this most advanced method, this is to source based off of what's called as seen on. So you'll see the term ASO, or the abbreviation ASO, and so that means as seen on. I just accidentally opened that up there, but with this item, this was actually as seen on in the High School Musical 2. So there's a picture here and then the item there, and this is actually a dress from Guess. And a lot of times the sellers don't actually put the tag. With this one, they did happen to put the tag, but because that is an as seen on item, this one actually sold for $150. Got another example. This is also from High School Musical, a blazer that was worn, and then that one sold for $200. And most of these sellers are not putting on the brand tag, or they're not taking pictures of the brand tag, or they'll blur it, because it's not about the brand. It's about it being seen on a certain character in a TV show or a movie. It's another one, High School Musical. There's lots more besides just High School Musical. For some reason, I had a bunch of these open. So $175 that little tank top went for. Another example from High School Musical, sweater, that one went for $175. And again, these are not because of the brand. You're not even going to see a brand tag with these or listed in the description. It's another High School Musical. This is actually an American Eagle dress. And this one sold for $260. So there are several of these selling for right around that $200, $250 mark. This is actually size 0. So to get that for a size 0 is amazing, and from the brand American Eagle. This is from Friends. So this was as seen on, you can see the pictures there. And then that dress sold for $200. Again, the brand is just kind of unknown because you're not paying for the brand, you're paying because it was that, as seen on in that show. Another one from Friends, and this one sold for $630. Another one here from Friends, this one sold for $600. And this one is from Gossip Girl. This is a Zara blouse. You can see what it looks like there. That actually sold for $400 for that. This is another one from Gilmore Girls, another dress, and this one sold for $700. And Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So a lot of these older TV shows, older movies are doing really well. This pair of pants went for $400. This is a really good example where that brand tag is actually blurred out because, again, it's not about the brand. And a couple of sellers, if you want to go check out further, there's tons of different movies, tons of different TV shows, tons of different celebrities that there's these types of as seen on items that are trending. You can go check out these sellers that pretty much only do that exclusively. And so Cinema Spells is one of them. And then Among the Stars is another one of them. And I do have a brand new pop culture guide where I go over not only these as seen on, but also looks that are selling, styles from those movies, from those TV shows that are trending, that people are buying for, that aren't necessarily an as seen on item, but they're trending for that look. And I cover it all inside of this pop culture keywords that sell guide. Again, I will leave a product card over here for that. Now, I know that we covered a lot really quickly, so just to recap, when you are able to source profitable items in these 5 ways through brands, vintage, aesthetic, upcycled items, as well as seen on or similar styles, that's really going to boost your profits. And as a gentle reminder, always look up those comps before making an investment when sourcing for your business. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, as well as consider subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't yet signed up for that $100,000 reseller challenge, you're going to want to do that now, because I am absolutely 100% certain that I can help get you on that path to making $100,000 for yourself this year. And if you're looking for more Bolo content, make sure to check out my entire Bolo playlist, because I have got you covered. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video soon.